The same thing that I teach today is the same thing that worked 6 years ago and the same thing that worked 8 years ago, and it's never going to stop working. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're going to get right to the point. It is a strategy, tactic, something implementable, and we are going to talk about Instagram. And I'm going to give you the quote-unquote secrets. You know, those secrets that everybody talks about? The secrets to Instagram. I've been playing on Instagram for a long time, back from when it started. One of my friends, the lead dev of Instagram, I've been to their headquarters, I've been in their office, I've been using it for years. I've had hundreds of thousands of followers, I've had none. And you know what's really, really funny about Instagram? Is the same thing that I teach today is the same thing that worked 6 years ago and the same thing that worked 8 years ago, and it's never going to stop working. I'm going to share some really down and dirty tips and tricks, understandings of Instagram to have it be as effective as possible for you if you use Instagram, okay? So I have my notes over here because I started brain dumping all the things I wanted you to know, and I was like, all right, I'm going to cram these in, but you can come back, you can listen to this, and you can do this. So first thing is you have to remember that when you think about social media in general, but you think about broadcasting, anything out in the world, you have to remember the marketing law that we teach. And one of the marketing laws is everything that you do has to either be learning or serving your potential customer. Now let's break that down. Learning about your potential customer, asking questions, posting content, seeing how they respond, seeing how they answer questions. Noticing that when you post certain things, nobody responds. That's feedback. Noticing that when you post certain things, everybody responds. That's feedback. Noticing when you say certain things, nobody responds. Feedback. When you say certain things, everybody responds. Feedback. So in that time, you're learning. What you're doing is you're watching behaviors. You're watching patterns. You're watching things shift. You keep posting the same thing over and over, and engagement goes down and down and down. It's because they are bored with it. They need a pattern interrupter. They need something different. You post something over and over, it keeps going up and up and up. You pay attention to it, you double down, but you're learning. Every single thing you're doing is learning, learning, learning. The other side of it is serving. The other side of it is serving. Now, the serving side is taking everything that you learned and then serving with it. So you take everything that you learned and then you utilize that information to post back online. You answer questions, they answer questions, they gave you answers, you post. And so then your job is to take that content, take that information, come up with what you're teaching people, what you're helping people achieve, and then put it out into the world on social media for them to be a touch point in their customer journey. Now, Angie Lee, who's a friend, she is the absolute queen of Instagram. Actually, you guys should all go add her, DM her, follow her, and tell her George sent you from a podcast because she's coming on the show. I would consider her the queen of Instagram. And one of the things that she says over and over and over and over and over again is that everything you post has to either be savable or shareable. And you guys have heard me talk about this a ton. When it comes to marketing and understanding marketing, Jonah Berger breaks this down in his book, Contagious. But there are only 5 reasons that somebody would save or share your post. Reasons 1 through 5. Humor, credibility, social status, education, or controversy. And you notice that all of those things are reasons why people engage on social media, engage on social media, save on social media, or share on social media. So everything you do has to be learning or serving your customer, and then what you put out there, you want to make it savable and shareable, okay? Now, here's the beautiful thing. Everybody talks about algorithms, right? We say relationships beat algorithms. Do you want to know what the number one tilt is for the Instagram algorithm? You guessed it. It's relationships. It's engagement. Instagram cares how many people engage on your post. And so to give you a quick overview of like how the algorithm works, you put a post up and the algorithm shows that post to a set amount of people that engage with your content. If lower than the average number of people engage with your content, they'll show it to less people. If average, they'll show it to average. If more people engage after that hour, they'll check it again and be like, oh, people are engaging on this. Let's show it to more people. Instagram rewards you for being good. Instagram punishes you for being shitty, i.e. if your post isn't savable or shareable, if it doesn't help people, if you're not responding to comments, they're not going to reward you. Algorithms are easy. They are based on you doing your job. Instagram wants people to stay on Instagram. So the longer somebody's on your post and the longer they engage with your profile, the more likely they are to show that people or show that content to people to keep them on the platform. And so the number one hack for Instagram is engage. I have it written over here. Engage. Like, you actually have to engage. And so you have to make two choices. You're either going to run a broadcast channel and you're not going to grow, and you're not going to get followers, and you're not going to get conversions. You're going to get attention, and most of the time the wrong attention. Or you can make it the marketing machine that it is and a touch point in a relationship, and you can build relationships on the platform. So earlier I said you have to learn or serve for your potential customer. The potential customer means the right customer. Now, this is deeper than just Instagram, but if you sell a supplement and all you're posting is cat pictures, don't be pissed when of the 18,000 followers you have, none of them buy a supplement. There's an influencer who had almost 1.2 million followers who inked a t-shirt deal and was predicated on selling a minimum amount of t-shirts. So 1.2 million followers, and the deal was they had to sell at least a minimum of 500 t-shirts to break even and have it go. She couldn't sell 500 t-shirts on 1.2 million followers because nobody followed her for clothing. Nobody wanted her clothes. It was a different avatar. It was a different pain point. It was a different consumption modality, right? So they were just consuming that content for distraction or dopamine or something, and it was the wrong attention, okay? So when you think about Instagram alone, and any platform, but Instagram, because that's what we're talking about, engagement is number one. Now, I'm going to give you a couple tips here. So the first thing that you can do is you need to be batching your content, right? If you don't know what you're posting on Instagram today, tomorrow, and next week, you're already wrong. And if you're figuring out every day, you're already wasting time, money, and energy. So sit down and make a 30-day plan of like what you're going to post. And if you're like, oh, I don't know what to post, yes, you do. You've done our map of modalities, or you've done our captain's assessment. You've been through our trainings. If you've been in the Lighthouse method course, if you haven't, get in there now so I can just do this for you. Or check out our brand legacy bundle, because I give you social media prompts. But like, get out of your way. Have this stuff pre-scheduled, okay? So know what you're going to be posting for 30 days, and you can pre-schedule it through Facebook, or you can post it as you go. But the reason I say that is the proactive part, you posting, is the least important part. You do the research, they tell you what they want, you kind of put it together, you post. That is 1% of the game. 99% of the game is watering that seed after you plant it, watering that flower after you plant it, which is the reactive side of it. And so what I like to do, and this is what you're going to get the biggest tilt for, is in that first hour, you want to be engaging. When people ask comments or ask questions, you respond to those questions. Instagram looks at the depth of engagement. They look at how long the comment is. They don't like the emoji, fire. They want context and content all to match, right? So if somebody asks you a question or somebody engages, ask them a question. Create engagement, but spend the first hour within that post going up just checking it and engage, like in 10-minute pockets. Check for 10 minutes, leave it for 10, check for 10, leave it for 10, check for 10. And at that point, you're basically there. And so that's how I engage, number one. And then let's say you're posting twice a day or maybe once a day. If you post that on a Monday morning at 9 a.m., you engage till 10 a.m., and then maybe you check it a couple hours later, but then you leave it. But then you know you're going to post Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. So don't go engage on the previous post until you post. So post Tuesday at 9 a.m. and then go back and respond to the remaining comments on Monday's post, because then if it's a good comment, they'll click through to your profile, they'll see that you have a new post, and then they will click through that post and engage, and then you follow that pattern as you go. And so when you think about that, what you're really doing is you're engaging on the front, you're answering people's questions, you're creating momentum based on depth, and then you're waiting to respond again until your next post goes up. So if somebody likes your comment or response, they'll click through to your profile. You can even tell them if you're answering a question, oh, I just put a new post up about this, go check it out. And that's authentic, like if you really put that post up. So you need to make sure you're setting yourself up to win. Living on Instagram 18 hours a day is not going to set you up to win. You have to be intentional about it, and you have to create tight containers so you can do it. Another really, really easy engagement tip outside of just engaging, of course, make sure you respond, make sure you answer questions. But when you're doing stories, don't forget to tell people on the stories that you posted a new timeline post, okay? Different audiences on the platform. Some people are chronic scrollers on Instagram. They're going to see your feed. Some people are chronic Instagram storyers, and they're not going to know your feed unless you send them there. So once you do a post, have it set up that when you do a post, you take 5 minutes, you create a story about that post. Here's a hack. It's a story. Don't make it 15 seconds. Tell a story over 4 stories. Create somebody's consumption. Tell them a story. Give them value, and then send them to the post with context. Because if somebody's turbo thumb is going right, and you do one story, they're going to miss it and they're not going to go back, right? So tell a story, get their attention. We teach you how to do this in a podcast called the SEAA method, stop and roll, and I'm having a brain dump on aspire and then action. Stop and roll, aspire and action, right? Do the same thing with a story, but let them know that you put that post up and it's valuable. Maybe you give them one part of that post in the story or an overview of that post in the story and then send them to the post. That's why it's called a story, right? And so when you think about these platforms, Instagram, you have to use all the tools that it has. It rewards you. So another hack for Instagram is use Reels. Now, when you think about Instagram, when you think about social media, it's about progress and not perfection. You are competing against millions and millions and millions of other brands and other businesses. And so your one perfect post every 2 days is always going to lose to 6 of their almost perfect posts. And so you need to post more frequently, but you need to let go of the perfection. What you should be asking yourself is this post going to help me learn about my customers or serve my customers and move them one step towards their goal? And if the answer is yes, then post it. And don't worry about what it looks like, but use the platform. Another hack for Instagram is using all the tools they make available. Right now, they're weighting Instagram Reels over everything, right? But if you think about it, if you do an awesome post on your timeline with this dope caption, you can then go tell a story about that post, and then you can do an Instagram live talking about that post in a different context with Q&A, and then you can do a short reel about that post or one tip of the post, or do 4 reels with 4 different tips from the post. And so you have to remember that your job isn't about creating new content over and over and over and over. It's about creating content that will change people's lives and disseminating it over and over and over until they all get it. Right? A lighthouse doesn't change the color of its light or its cadence. It just keeps shining consistently over and over and over until every boat makes it home. And that's what you're going to do with Instagram, okay? And so let's say you're in the health and wellness space. You probably help people sleep better, lose weight, and have more energy. So no matter what, all you're going to be talking about are those things. So you don't have to try to recreate the wheel. Just change the wrapping paper, right? So if you think about sleep, we can all name 10 things that would help people sleep better. And then of those 10 things, there's probably 3 things underneath those things. That's 30 Instagram posts right there, 1 post per thing. And then you do a story on them or live on them or a Q&A. So worry more about disseminating your gift and consistently shining that light than trying to change the color of your light all the time. So the number one hack for Instagram is engagement. Okay, I just gave you a ton of lessons here, a ton of all of it. And I told you the reactive side, the side of when you are on your Instagram, you post and how you're going to react and engage and respond with your followers. Now, you have to remember that's only part of the coin. That's the field of dreams side. You've built it. Not many people are going to come. Even if you're using proper hashtags and things like that, not many people are going to come. So then you have to go out and put yourself where your people are. So then what I like to do is, so there are 10 people in my space that I admire and I follow. And I admire them and I follow them because I learn from them. Plus my audience or my avatar is their audience or avatar, right? So I follow stoicism and mindfulness, and a lot of entrepreneurs follow that stuff. So I have a good chance that the people on that page and in the comments are my followers, or could potentially be my followers or my friends or my customers, right? So what I do is on my Instagram, I go to 10 people that I like or engage with whose followers are most likely to be my customers as well. And I turn on notifications for them. So I have it set up so that every time that page posts, I get notified so I can be the first one in their comments. So I set buckets in my day to where if I see them comment, normally as fast as possible, I will go leave 3 comments. Now, this is probably the only fun thing I do when it gets like crazy strategies. But if you look at the scroll on an iPhone, on Instagram, what you see is somebody's image, their caption in the first 3 comments. So when I go to my friends' pages, and some of them are my friends, I leave 3 comments. And it's almost like I'm annoyingly texting you, but I'm trying to take up real estate. So I leave a comment with emojis expressing my emotion, right? Like, and I'll try to tell a story with emojis so they stand out. And then immediately after that, I will leave a contextual comment. I'll be like, oh my God, this is an amazing breakthrough. I apply it here, here, here. Thanks for all the tips. I appreciate you. And then I will leave a 3rd comment that says, thank you so much. And I tag the person by name. I tag the person's pages. So I'm leaving 3 comments on their post. I'm like an annoying little chihuahua. And this does not bother me at all. I think this is fun. And I'm like, I text people like that sometimes where I won't send you 1 text, I'll send you 10. Like that's just natural sometimes. And so I do that. But what I'm doing is I'm making sure I'm taking up real estate. So when other people come to comment, they see my comment, they see the emoji, it catches their attention, but then they see the actual context of the comment. I'm adding value, I'm engaging, and a lot of times they respond. I'll get 12 responses, 20 responses. I'll get 30 followers sometimes when I do that, because they're finding me and they're like, God, this comment's good. What's his profile like? They'll click through their profile, they'll see they like it, and they follow me. And so part of my outgoing strategies every day, I go comment on as many of those as I can. And then at the end of the day, I go back and I engage with other people in their comments. Now, I'm already on those comments. I'm in there. And then I go respond to other people like, oh my God, that's a great takeaway. I never thought about that. Oh, I love the insights. I always see you in the comments. It's so great to be here. Oh, I love your profile. That picture you posted 3 days ago with your dog was adorable. Holy moly, I didn't know you helped authors publish books. What's your proudest achievement? And you actually have to engage. And you have to remember that relationships are not passive. You don't sit there and they come to you. They're active. You go out and pursue them. You show up. You invite people in. And Instagram is the same way. And it will always be the same way. At the end of the day, you never want to compete with an algorithm. And when you build relationships, you don't have to. So the internal stuff I covered in the beginning and the external stuff I covered right now, right? So go out, right? And I mean add value. This isn't a shortcut. There's no shortcuts to this. If you want paying customers, if you want people who are going to share your content, people are going to love your content, people are going to post, people are going to tag their friends, it's not going to be the people who you're getting attention with. The people that share your content are the ones that you engage with. The people that save your content are the ones that you help. The people that send their friends are the ones that you ask questions with. They're the ones that you go deep with. Vanity metrics will put you out of business. Go deep on the relationship. And so these are some of the things on Instagram, and I have a couple more notes here. Okay. Earlier in the episode, I said Instagram rewards you for keeping people on the platform, right? And so why do so many people like the Chris Do and myself use carousels? Because carousels create what's called lateral engagement. And so if somebody stops on your post and they see an image and the caption, they scroll, they're only on it for 2 seconds. If they see a carousel that takes them on a journey laterally, right, like a 10-step process, a 7-step process, then I'm increasing the time that somebody is consuming my post, which means I'm increasing the time they're on Instagram. Instagram likes it. Instagram also sees like, wow, this person's spending 7 seconds or 4 swipes or 20 seconds. This must be a valuable post. Let's share it. Oh, and look at all those comments. And they're responding to the comments. Like, this is a model post for us to share for other people. And so you can literally tell a story in carousels in 10 images or even 10 videos and get people to swipe and go through the story. And then you can continue the story in your comments, like in your description, and take them on another one. So you're getting lateral engagement. That's a term I came up, but it sounds right. And then you're getting the people to engage and consume. And so make sure you're using the platform for what naturally fits for you and what fits for your audience. Okay. So when I think about that, what makes things savable and shareable? And then how do we learn or serve? We have to ask questions. We have to ask questions. We have to use polls. You have to use videos. You have to use images. You have to let go of the perfection. Your job is to meet people where they are in the moment. And quite frankly, people don't care what it looks like or that you had a photographer or videographer. They care that you understand them. They care that they feel seen, heard, and respected. And then you caught their attention and they're able to move one step closer to you. That's what they care about. That's what the people who are going to be your customers. Now, maybe you're going to get attention for some of the flashy things, but those people aren't going to pay you. They're going to be following you for the dopamine and things like this. You want to get to the substance. So use polls, okay? Use carousel posts. Ask questions. Use the stories. Use the live. Use the reels. And test. I will tell you that you will never learn how to win the game if you never practice the game. So you can sit here and consume over and over and over. But until you put the licks in, until you put 20 posts up or 20 stories up or 20 lives up, you're never going to learn and make adjustments. And this game is about making adjustments. So I want you to try all of it and try it with reckless abandon, because I can tell you that if every post that you put up helps you learn something or serve them, nobody can get mad at you and there's no way to lose that game. But every post that you wait to put up because it doesn't look a certain way or you wait to test it because you're unsure, guarantees you cannot win the game. Instagram will be won with depth of engagement, with building real relationships and understanding how it's played. You have to get on the field. And so when I think through this, what are some of the things? Post more frequently. I covered that earlier, right? Progress, not perfection. Time your posting. Like I said earlier, be consistent. People cannot subscribe to a television show that comes out at different days of different times. Be consistent. Set expectations, right? Use the right hashtags. Stop trying to hijack hashtags of the wrong people. Use the right hashtags. I teach this in the mastermind and a few other places in our courses, but use the right hashtags. And one hack for you, you can add a hashtag to your stories and pick one. You add one hashtag per story, but like if you're doing a story on mindset, add the mindset hashtag. You'll get a reach from that, but use one. It's not about Instagram, hashtag stuffing in stories. It's about using one that's applicable, and then it'll help you get to more people. And so let's see what else I got here. I covered the reactive. I covered the proactive. One of the things when I post on other influencer stuff, like I'm really trying to add value, I try to get there within like the first 60 seconds. And so if I'm working, I don't pick it up. If I'm recording a podcast, I don't pick it up. But if I'm in one of those zones where I'm just working and I'm free, I'll just pick it up and go, and I'll go hit it, and I'll go hit it. And then I'll engage with the first ones. And what happens is because I'm first and I engage so quickly, so many people like my comment shows up at the top. It's got 30 likes or 80 likes or 100 likes, and everybody sees it. Everybody responds to it. It becomes the thread or the comment thread, so I increase my attention. If I do that consistently, it takes maybe 10 minutes a day. But on average, we're getting 30 to 40 people a day when I was doing it consistently and testing this to teach. So it's a very, very thought out and well done strategy. And so the one thing underneath all of this is consistency. Show up consistently. Show up every day. Set yourself up to win. Do not set the bar high that you can't heat it. Don't make promises you can't keep. Just pick a schedule and set it, and then build upon it. Focus on progress and not perfection. And underneath everything, focus on the relationship. Focus on the connection. Focus on the engagement, and understand that people are on Instagram because they want to be on Instagram. Take them on a journey. Get them hooked. Build a relationship so the algorithms won't matter. They either turn on your notifications or they come looking for you daily. So those are my thoughts on Instagram. I feel like I could talk about Instagram for like 20 hours, but I feel like I'm going to go back through this and listen to this and take some notes. I think I hit most of it. So I'd love to know your thoughts. Put it into practice. Like, tag me on Instagram. I want to see. Tag me in a post. Make sure you follow me. It's George Bryant is on my Instagram. But play. We're playing. We're testing. We're doing it all. And that's the way that you're going to win this game. So that's why I got on Instagram. This is another Winning Wednesday. The outro is coming. I love you all. And remember that relationships will always beat algorithms. Bye.